Can you imagine being 13 years old, extremely close to your mother, and having her drop dead right in front of you? I'm just Candace, and this is my story. Welcome to my first podcast. It was a beautiful day in March 1975, and I was waiting for my mother to come home. I was really excited because we had just gotten some new furniture. We were very poor. We grew up in the projects, Pinnacle Heights in New Britain, Connecticut, outside of Hartford, the capital. We didn't have a lot of new things come through our house, so this was an exciting day. Mom came home and she went upstairs like she usually did, and she would always wash up, put on her house coat, and then come down and cook dinner for her 7 children. On this day, it was taking her so long to come down, and I remember thinking, what is taking so long? Well, she finally came down in her house coat. She was standing right in front of me. She put her hand on her head like this, and she dropped dead right in front of me. We put her on the machine, but she was basically brain dead. She had an aneurysm. To say that that was the worst day of my life would be an understatement. But I don't want to focus on the bad and the sad. I want to tell you about my mother, Mrs. Richeline Mitchell. She was a soft place to land. She was beautiful, kind, loving. Her 7 children adored her, and everyone that knew her respected her and cared for her. My mother was that woman that was always talking to folks and mentoring the kids and just sharing love, always rooting for the underdog, always just looking for the best in people. That's who she was. And she was a kind and gentle mother, but she was strong also, and she was firm when she needed to be. My mother was so talented. She had a voice like a songbird. And beautiful. She could have left us and went to Hollywood and had a great career. Another Lena Horne. She had the looks and she had the talent. A voice like an angel. But she raised her 7 children and made great sacrifices. My mother was also a seamstress. She could look at you and sew you a hat, a dress, and a coat all in the same day. And she didn't need a pattern. She could look at you and cut the cloth. That's how talented she was. And she was always writing letters to the editor of the New Britain Herald and the Hartford Courant, always interested in social injustice. She would write commentary about the things she saw. She'd speak up. She didn't protest in the street. She took it to the paper. And she was admired and respected by many, many people. I would lay at my mother's foot while she read the paper every Sunday. I just wanted to be near her, just wanted to be close to her. I was extremely close to my mother. And in 13 years, she gave me so many life lessons that they still guide my life today. And I'm so grateful. Let me tell you 3 things my mother would always say. She'd say, birds of a feather flock together. As a child, I really didn't know what that meant. But now I do. Who are you flocking with? Who do you surround yourself with? Because we know the people we surround ourselves with can bring us up or take us down. They can encourage or discourage us. So a flock, of course, is a group of birds identified by distinctive colors and patterns in their feathers. Well, my flock is very small and distinctive, kind, dignified, wonderful women. Because look, if I feel that I'm a swan gliding gracefully through life, then I'm not going to hang out in the hen house with those hens clucking and clucking and clucking, gossiping, backstabbing, slandering. You know, that negative energy. I don't want it around me. I want good people around me. So I'm very particular about who I surround myself with. I'll give you another one. My mother always said, stop procrastinating. I didn't even know what that word meant as a kid, but now I get it. Stop putting off for tomorrow what you can do today. This is the day that we've been given, folks, right here, right now, living in the moment. This is what we have. If you want to start a business, go start it. You want to do a podcast or a blog, go do it. You want to get healthy and lose weight? Get a nutritionist. Eat healthy food. Start working out. Do what it is you want to do to accomplish your goals. This is the day. Tomorrow may not come. So now I get it, Mom. I'll give you the last one. Always heard it. Pretty girls are a dime a dozen. She'd say, you better have more than that. I remember so clearly. What does she mean? Of course, we know that beauty without good character means nothing. I really believe beauty starts on the inside. I believe that, and I teach it to my own daughter, who's gorgeous. But I want her to be a good person, a kind person. So when I see my mother on the other side someday, I hope I can say, Mom, I did you well. If I could even be half the woman she was, I'd be doing okay. Because my mother was the epitome of a good, solid, loving, kind-hearted mother. And I truly admired her. When she died, St. James Baptist Church was full. The church was full. The balcony was full. The street outside, it was full. And these people were not coming to gawk. These were people that loved, respected, and admired my mother. That's who she was. Always rooting for the underdog, always talking to the kids in the neighborhood. You know, we were that house where all the kids came. They gathered around, and as poor as we were, my mother would try to feed you. But mostly, she tried to feed you with intelligence. She had a great vocabulary, and she had a lot of wisdom. And she talked to the kids in the neighborhood, and they'd come, and they kept coming. My brothers played football for New Britain High, Alan, Ricky, and Kenny. My sisters were two gorgeous women, and when you came to visit a gentleman suitor, my mother would give you the third degree. What are your intentions? She wanted to know what you were about when you came to see her daughters. That's just who she was, and I'm pretty much the same way with my child. Anyway, my mother was, wow. Just there aren't enough words. There aren't enough words. And I hope through this podcast I can share some of those life lessons she taught. I hope I can continue to empower and enlighten and inspire, because that's what she did. Motivate. She was my everything. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, because I am my mother's garden. Yes, she watered me quite well. For 39 years, I've worked with special individuals, special needs, autistic kids, and Down syndrome kids and adults. 2 years ago, I received my credentials to work with substance abusers, and I'm coming to you from Raleigh, North Carolina. And you know, in North Carolina, 5 people die every day from opioid overdose. So we've got a problem. If I can help even one person to change their life, then I'll feel fantastic about that. And I know I'll do my mother proud. So that's who I am, an esthetician. I love beauty, love makeup. I'm going to share beauty tips with you, inspirational stories, messages. We've got so many things I want to talk to you about. I had a business, Candace Beauty and Wellness, but I didn't focus just on making women beautiful. I always talked about the wellness part of that, being healthy, being grateful, taking care of ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. That's what I'm about. So it's my desire that I can share with everyone. Black, brown, red, yellow, white, doesn't matter. This podcast is for everyone. And that's how my mother lived her life. She cared about everyone. I hope to share with you some inspiring stories. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a hint about our first podcast coming. Today, this is the introduction. So many times we don't accomplish our goals. You know why? We're weighed down with baggage. It's time to let it go, because the train is going to leave the station. That's going to be my first podcast. I don't want you to miss it. I want you to come back and just enjoy the message, the inspiration, and I hope you share it with everyone. You can reach me at Twitter at Talk with Candace, and on Instagram, Real Talk with Candace. Follow me on my Facebook page, Just Candace. That's my business page where you'll find so many inspirational posts, pictures, beauty tips. Come on, join the fun. Until the next time, I wish you love, peace, joy, and all success in all of your endeavors. I'm Just Candace. Good night.